Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco dish out on the movies.
Movies.
Marco, no.
What?
And
What do you mean?
tonight we're doing Hell's Kitchen. Episode season 23, episode 7, maybe?
Okay, let's see how this goes. Because Safi says she's not going to read my review.
No, I can. It's all out of order, though.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
So from
Episode 7.
So from last week, the two women chefs who were put up for nomination, now I guess they're in an alliance against the rest of the team. And I thought that was a smart decision, considering neither of them deserved to be put up last week. And, Safi, do you have anything to add? Okay,
well,
so moving
I can't.
on.
I'm not going to talk about last week.
Okay, moving on. One of the black sheep fails to get a point for her team. On the other hand, Megan secures a point and ties with Kyle. Now, even the women's team are underestimating and bullying Egypt. Hannah criticizes the look of Egypt's dish after she pounded and rolled her expensive steak into oblivion. She failed miserably. And then I wrote, she's for sure going home this episode, which she almost did.
And she was never put up.
But she almost went home.
I
don't know why Safi's trying to pretend like I'm not saying the truth in my review. She's kind of a sore loser. Whit manages to impress Gordon this week with how she got a sear on her T-bone steak. It's a refreshing change of... What are you doing that for? What now?
No, I'm just thinking about Whit. That. I know.
God, guys.
Says she got the point.
Safi just came in here to be a bitch tonight.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
As I said, and I'm still sick too. It's a refreshing change of pace for a challenge to go this well. There wasn't really any terrible dish. Gordon ended up having to choose the best dish overall because the teams tied, and Egypt ended up winning. And maybe he will win the season.
Yeah.
Oh, finally something Safi doesn't protest.
Well, I thought he just seems... You haven't said anything about the rest of the show. They won a trip to the spa. The men did.
Safi, that was literally my next comment.
Okay.
You're really jumping the gun here.
Well, that was before all that.
What?
You're at the end.
What are you talking about? What are you
doing?
What are you talking about,
okay,
Safi?
Go ahead.
Wait, what are you talking about? I'm not at the end at all.
Okay, just keep going.
What? Safi, at the beginning of the episodes, the two women from last week had a discussion about how they should stand up against their team. Did you not? Why? What are you doing? Safi, that literally happened at the beginning of this episode. It was just
stupid, though. They're stupid.
But why are you saying that was the ending of the episode? You're a fucking liar.
Okay, I want you to stop it.
You're a liar. Why are you lying?
Just be quiet. Just keep talking.
What are you saying about the end of the episodes at the beginning? Like, why are you turning this into a Quentin Tarantino movie? Huh?
Oh, God.
Oh, God. What was at the ending of the episode, Safi?
Somebody going home?
Did I say someone went home at the beginning?
No, but you said somebody should have gone home, right?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Just move it along.
Oh, my God. Safi, it's only been 4 minutes.
God, I can't stand this game you play.
Safi, the only game that you play is with yourself. The men's team gets to go to a spa and get pampered, which I thought that was funny, because that felt like another gendered reward. That felt like easily that was like a female team reward that the men's team just happened to get. And then the punishment was kind of a men's punishment, where they had to prepare the ingredients for the steak dinner. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't think that the punishment was too bad either. One of the female chefs even, and I can't remember her name, one of them even said that she had to do what they did in the punishment like years ago when she first started cooking. So,
well, I just wanted to say, I thought Egypt, he got a massage, and I don't know how many of the others got a massage, because really they didn't show the rest of them doing much. But he got, and it seemed to really revive him and relax him and
funny.
energize him. I mean, I think he really benefited from it. He did really well tonight. And he had a lot of energy. He was happy. You know, he's been depressed, and so he was happy.
That was interesting, because it felt like he was like his old self got killed, and then they cloned him, and his clone, or he took the substance. You know, Safi wouldn't get that reference. She wouldn't watch the movie. But anyways, Hannah, however, Hannah Banana, she's the one who made disparaging comments about Egypt's dish, even though her dish was trash. She has gone into the upside down and wants to quit. Michelle has to talk her out of it. At least we finally got to see another interaction between the sous chef and then the team, because, and it was kind of weird though. Like, I don't know, like, I don't like Michelle as a sous chef. You know,
I don't know. I don't really like Hannah, and I feel bad about that. But
Michelle, she was originally on the show, and I didn't watch her original season.
Oh.
But then she got brought back for the All-Stars season, and I did watch that one, and she won that season.
Oh.
So she went from being head chef to being this sous chef on the show. And I don't know. I don't really like her that much as a sous chef. I prefer the ones from last season.
Well, I just want to say, well, there's a lot I could say, but I guess Marco doesn't want to do that. But, you know, when they did this thing at the beginning where they would have each, like a team of two, and then it's, you know, one represents the men and one represents the women.
What?
And they were all, you know, cooking. They were cooking a meat and then a vegetable, a starch, and some, like, you know, the accoutrements with it. I don't know. It just depends on what they wanted to do. But anyway, can you be quiet? But anyway, that Hannah, and Marco mentioned what happened. You know, she and Egypt had to cook a rib cap. And Hannah, and it was funny, when she was cooking it, she pounded it. And it was already thin. I just didn't get that.
Oh, yeah.
And then she rolled it, and a bunch of the chefs, not just, and actually, Egypt might have even said something too, but I mean, he was busy cooking his own rib cap. But a bunch of them said that what she was doing, they couldn't understand why she was doing that. They did not agree with it.
Well, I thought it was funny because after she lost the challenge, she had this really, really sad face. Like, she was so defeated. Like, and I was even saying, Safi, look at that face that she's making.
Yeah.
Because, like, she was making this horrible face, and you could tell that something was wrong. So, it probably had something to do with that.
Well, I just want to mention, too, she's a widow.
Safi, get off. Don't talk about that.
I won't say anything specific,
okay,
but
don't
she's
do
been
that.
one
Don't
for
do that.
3 years, and it makes her depressed.
Yeah, well...
She was depressed. I mean, you could compare her with Egypt, and he was like, he seemed so light and happy and on top of the world, and she was like the exact opposite. So
anyway, when we finally got to service, no thanks to Safi, Egypt is doing better.
Yeah.
He is the strongest chef on the men's team.
Yes, he is.
And I thought that it was hilarious because Brandon, who I really don't like him, he said that Egypt is doing better because it's not the Egypt show anymore. But I think it's hilarious. What? I think it's hilarious because it really actually is the Egypt show. Like, this season has basically just turned in to like a giant Egypt season. Like, this is all about the character arc of Egypt and him winning the season. Because, like, every single episode's like been all about like his team bullying him and treating him poorly for no reason, and then his comeback and everything. So I totally disagree that it's not the Egypt show anymore. I mean, he was the star of this episode. Like, no one else on the men's team really did anything of note for the most part, you know, so.
No, they didn't.
I thought that was BS.
The men they just kind of had their nose to the grindstone, and the reason why Egypt stands out to me is just like what I said, and it's like just completely the opposite. Like earlier, like a couple weeks ago, when he wanted to leave and he was sad and homesick, and it was just a completely different person. And but the men, they really didn't make any mistakes because they just seemed to be like noses to the grindstone. You know, do what you're supposed to do. And one thing they had to do, all of them, was they had to do risotto. It was actually the appetizer was risotto crab cake, risotto and crab cakes or something. And you know, risotto, we have talked about this over and over. It's something you have to nurse. And but they did fine. They just stuck. They stuck to what they had to do. They heavily focused on what they were doing, and they worked as a team, and they did really well. But then the women, go ahead, Marco, it was just the opposite.
Hannah started off terribly with her risotto, but then she got better, thankfully. And the women's team lost mostly due to the dyed red hair woman undercooking meats and things. Dyed red hair is a literal red flag, and I've said that before on this channel.
And this is the weird, like the Kool-Aid red. It's not red like a ginger person dyeing their hair. Like
it happened last year too. It happened last year where they had this chef. She had dyed hair.
It's Kool-Aid cherry or something.
And she made this big deal. I have 7 children, and I take care of all 7 children. I'm a single mom of 7 children. And she had dyed hair, and she went home. And because it's kind of like it's a red flag. It is a real red flag because it shows that there's something wrong. Anyways.
Well, the lobster... and it was Megan. She undercooked that. Then everybody was overcooking. Oh, wait, yeah. And then the steak was undercooked.
Yeah, didn't the dyed red hair girl undercook everything? So, anyways,
yeah, I don't know who. I didn't have it written down, but anyway,
the red team
they couldn't get.
The red team nominated the wrong 2 people again,
and I didn't like that.
Both
I really
people.
don't.
Gordon looked upset at first, but then for some reason he kicked out Megan because her team didn't believe in her. I thought this was bizarre since, you know, with Egypt, he kept Egypt even though they did the same thing to him.
Yeah, I was going to say that was the same thing they did with him.
So I thought that was really weird. I thought that was kind of like, I don't know. I really have no idea why he sent Megan home.
And he said this.
She didn't deserve to go home at all.
He said, the rest of your team doesn't have any faith in you. Therefore, I don't think you should stay. I think you should go.
And then the dyed red hair girl, she...
and Hannah.
...knew that she got away with something.
Yeah, but see, what we thought, because Hannah... she undercooked a lobster or the risotto or something. But it was really obvious, and everybody was mad about it. She didn't get put up. And then that Amanda, what Mark was talking about with the cherry red hair, it was the same thing. She made this huge mistake, and they didn't put those 2 up. They put Megan and Anne-Marie.
Yeah.
Of all people. I didn't get the Anne-Marie thing at all.
Her name is Anne-Marie, so that's kind of like a...
No, I didn't get why they put her up.
Yeah, well, her name is Anne-Marie, Safi. I mean, there's something wrong with her.
Oh.
She's got something weird going on.
That's the one with the scarf in her hair.
I don't know. But anyway, Megan got sent home for no reason. except for
What?
Gordon. I literally don't know. I literally can't figure out the reasoning behind sending her home. She didn't do anything wrong except for one thing.
Marco was right, you could tell he was angry at first because he knew they chose the wrong people.
He knew that the dyed-red hair girl deserved to go home.
Because it's the same thing.
You'll have to excuse Safi. She has tuberculosis.
No, I don't. So it's the same thing where when you get to the end of something, if you make a big mistake, that's what everybody remembers.
But Safi, the dyed-red hair girl literally is a giant mistake.
Well, anyway, that girl, what's her name? Amanda, the red, who we're talking about, she's the one who made that mistake at the end. Well, so everybody, it's very memorable.
So why wasn't she kicked out?
Why wasn't she even picked?
Yeah.
And it really, I don't give a F about these people, but I really did not. Because it's the second week in a row.
Yeah.
They picked two of the wrong people. It's almost like a popularity contest.
And I think it's weird, too.
That's stupid.
I think it's kind of bizarre because I've watched now 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 or so seasons of Hell's Kitchen, and I have never seen them have this much trouble with nominating people for elimination. Ever.
Well, I used to watch the show, and like I've said,
Safi,
I haven't watched it for years, but it was the same thing for me. I don't ever remember this kind of thing happening either.
Yeah.
And the only thing, like when it would get down to the end, you would have this competitive, what they wanted to send the competitive, really good person home. But, unless they slipped up, that was really difficult. But I can understand the reasoning. But there's no reasoning to me other than it's a popularity contest, and that does not belong in there. This isn't high school. These are all. In fact, in this season, these are all professional chefs in their real lives.
No, they're all head chefs.
Well, head chef. That's what I mean. I mean, they're not like never had like a master chef. They don't have an experience.
That includes Magali Sahali.
So that's what
Safi found herself missing Magali Sahali this week.
No, Marco's kept saying her name over and over again, so I don't give a F about these people. But like I'm saying, I don't think this thing where it's a popularity contest, I don't agree with that. And I think it's wrong and childish. I can't stand it. So, anyway, well, so Megan is the one that got sent home, and even after Chef Ramsay, and you could tell, because we've seen him so much now that we can tell kind of what kind of mood he has, and he was not happy with this popularity BS. But then it's like he stood there for a few moments, and he thought about it, and he said, people keep nominating you, and they just I don't think they have any faith in you, therefore I think you need to go home. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, is that how it works, like in the kitchen and like a professional business, like the head chef, like their team disrespects them and then the head chef is the one who gets punished and goes home? Like, I think it's usually the other way around because the head chef is higher authority. So if he's sending her home because, like, oh, well, your team has to believe in you or else you can't be a good head chef for me. But it's like, in the real world, the underlings would get punished as well. So it doesn't make any sense to send... That's why I'm saying it doesn't make any sense why he sent her home.
Yeah, and Marco's
she
been
didn't
watching
deserve
this
to go home.
whole show from the start. And I've only watched a few episodes, but if he's saying that, he's been paying close attention, and he would know.
She's just been kind of there. I mean, I knew that she wasn't going to win the season, but I didn't think she would either. I didn't think that she deserved to go home. So
I didn't either.
I would give the episode a D because I thought it was an okay episode, but like that thing at the end, it's like that's what you remember.
Yes, that's
just
the
like
other
with
thing.
The dyed hair woman at the end of the episode, she admitted on camera, "I feel bad because Anne Marie should have gone home."
Which is just asinine.
Like, no,
I mean, What?
You should have gone home.
It's more
bitch.
popularity stuff. What in the hell is their deal with the popularity? This is not a popularity contest.
If it was a popularity contest, Magali Sahali would win.
I don't
right,
know.
Safi?
Well, I don't know. I didn't see the first few episodes, but I really disagree with that, and I don't like it. I guess I'll give it a geez. And the only thing that helped me with the episode, I'd probably give it an F. That was the thing with the Egypt. Because, I mean, it was just like he was light as a feather. And his face, he was so relaxed. I mean, you could just tell this when somebody is like, they're all strung up with nerves or tension or anger. They kind of get tight. And they're just like tight. And it's like, you could probably knock them over and they would fall on the ground like a stick.
Are they tight like a tiger?
I don't know, and he was just like so loose and really like floating on air. And it was after he had that massage, and he said that he'd never had anything like that. Of course, I'm not thinking men are really big spa people.
Okay.
And so, but he's the only one they show. But I mean, to me, it's just so different. That's what saved the episode for me.
Yeah, well,
was him.
What I think is that Safi should watch The Substance. And I think that...
I did watch The Substance.
You didn't. You read my review. So I think if this review gets to 1 like, then Safi will watch The Substance. And she will do her own review.
Why?
Because it's apparently one of the best movies of the year. Not to me, but, to some people.
Really?
Out there. So, I think that... Because Safi mentioned how Egypt, it's like he took the substance. And it's like, it really is. It's like he was a completely different person. Safi really likes movies about substances, especially ones with... green substance.
I don't know what he's talking about. God help me.
It's green.
All I know
lime green.
Is that I don't like this childish high school behavior of the women.
And it didn't even...
I hope they don't... None of them win.
It didn't
I hope it's a man who wins tonight.
Oh!
What the fuck up?
Oh!
Would ya?
Oh!
I just don't like that behavior.
Wow!
I don't understand it. Why would they do that? Well, there is a woman on the men's team, Lulu.
Oh!
But I don't know how that came about, but I know Marco would know.
Safi's turned against her gender.
It's not that. I don't like that childish... it's not professional. This thing, and they just... And like, what did that girl, that red hair girl, who was the last person to make a major mistake, and you could see her face.
Yeah, she
watching.
Looked like, she knew she did a boo-boo and she should have gotten punished.
That's right. She knew she should have been up there, not them. And in fact, before they got to that point, and they were off on their own, and they had talked about everything. And then they showed her talking like to herself, But
the one thing I will say is that because I think the right thing to do would have been for the dyed red hair woman to stand up and say, "I'm the one who should have been nominated, and not Megan and Anne Marie."
I'm surprised that they don't.
But
they haven't.
The reason why I don't think that would have been good is because Gordon would punish her for doing that.
Yeah,
he would say,
he wouldn't lie.
Oh, come on. Why are you admitting you made mistakes? Oh,
well,
you just want to go home. That's what he would have said.
Yeah, and I think Marco's right.
It's too bad because
he's like that.
That would have been the ideal thing for a normal chef to do.
But you could tell because they showed pictures of her, listening to what's going on, and you could see her face. And that she was at fault. And then that Hannah, at the beginning, she was at fault too. But, it's like I said, it's the last thing that happens that people remember. And, but whatever. I just don't like that unprofessional, childish, high school behavior. It just
Safi,
doesn't have any place there.
this review has already reached 1 like, so you will be watching The Substance.
Oh, great. I'm really happy about it.
You
I'm
excited?
sure whoever did that it's probably one of the people who's bought my stuff because
What do you mean?
when I sell, now I've added something. I put down all the things I sell on Poshmark, I sell on eBay and Mercari. So I put my little, what would you call it, titles there. And then I put Safi and Marco Dish Out on the movies. And then and YouTube. And then I put, we are reviewing, and then I put a colon, and I put down some of the things that we're presently reviewing. And I put Hell's Kitchen, The Penguin, and, like if we did some movies, like the full moon movies, I put that. So anyway.
What?
So any of these people who are liking or commenting on the channel could be people I've sold things to.
Safi,
on my sales apps.
how could someone like this video if we're in the middle of recording it?
I don't know. Maybe it was you. So
Actually, it is.
Take it off. Okay, that's it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become one of our 600 plus subscribers.
It's called a fuck YouTube like because YouTube erases likes off of videos if they don't like the videos people make.
I've been hearing some really strange stories about
YouTube
them
is
erasing
terrible.
people's
erasing
videos,
views,
giving them
erasing channels,
giving bad what do you call it when they tell them
it's called a strike. But anyway,
yeah,
what I do is I give all my videos automatically 2 likes, and I do that on purpose because YouTube erases likes. There were videos that I used to make. It was especially prevalent in 2020. I would make a video and release it, and it would say that you got 7 likes, and then I would go to the video and it would say 0 likes, because they're hiding them so that people don't know that our videos are really popular. They're the greatest videos, and I have the greatest channel.
Oh my God!
I do the greatest reviews.
Okay, Marco, let's not.
I do the greatest Hell's Kitchen reviews on YouTube.
He's BSing. Okay, don't believe anything he says.
We have the best reviews on here.
He's BSing.
Especially the ones where Safi reads my reviews and says, I'm not going to say that, and then just moves on. Thinks I'm not going to notice.
Well, Marco's review that he had me write out, or he wrote out for me to read, it was all out of order.
No, that's a lie.
No, it's not.
There was no part where it was out of
Yes,
order.
it was.
No.
Yes, it was.
Safi is lying.
I do want to mention, but I didn't hear the exact name, but they had a Yale University men's choir, but there was a name for them as special group. And when they did this little contest at the beginning, they would sing, and they would stop, and they would put the word of the thing that they're supposed to be getting in this, getting in this pile of stuff. So the meat, they put that, and then they stop singing, and they run around, and then they start again, and then it'd be the starches, and then it was the vegetables, and then whatever else. I thought that was interesting, and they were all dressed in like coats and tails, really dressed up, and they were really good. And it just was different. I kind of like that. But anyway, so that's it. So, goodbye, everybody.